Although hostilities ended nearly 60 years ago, North Korea still persists as a threat to South Korea at its borders. Thus, both Koreas remain combat ready at all times. In terms of sheer manpower, North Korea with its notoriously long service periods may have the upper hand. However, in terms of prowess, South Korea possesses one of the best military forces in the world. Just last week, South Korea has received much praise and attention for its successful evacuation named Operation Miracle. It was the work of the Korean Air Force who managed to safely relocate approximately 400 Afghan citizens to Korea. And at the heart of the plan was the Combat Control Team. They are the Air Force's elite special troops of only 20 members with the motto of first there, last out. That is because during wartime or any operation, the CCT are the first to infiltrate enemy territory and also the last to leave. They ensure that their allies are given safe passage from the start and until the very end. Thus, they also have the power to decide whether a plan is viable or not. Their tasks in detail involve securing the area for their allies, as well as delivering accurate location information such as weather, wind direction, and wind speed. This helps aircrafts control their coordinates to enter the area safely and accurately. It is essential since operation areas often do not have any clear assembly points or a proper control center available. Thus, even after the area is secured, their skills are indispensable. In the case of a fighter jet, they help guide the aircraft so that it can accurately shoot targets. As for transport planes, the team looks out for surroundings on the ground and shout green light over the radio. Only with their green light can transport planes drop airborne personnel or supplies to the ground. However, such skills are not gained without any pain. Becoming an official member of their team involves 5 years of harsh training. Because they not only need to be combat ready but also work as a control center, they are required to receive intensive training on a variety of military skills. This includes the low and high altitude drop, maritime, air, and land-based infiltrations, military communications, weather forecasting, and destruction of obstacles and enemy facilities even underwater and in air. Basically, they receive almost every training available for other divisions within the military. Even after becoming a full-time member of the team, every individual is required to travel several tens of kilometers at night, carrying a 30 to 40 kilogram military gear while training for infiltration, engagement, mountaineering, and escaping to safety. With such versatility, Combat Control Team are assigned to any of the Army and Navy units, or even as part of the counterterrorism team as needed and provide air coordination and fire support. Their roles were especially crucial in the Kabul operation where conditions were extremely poor. The biggest problem was that their safety was not guaranteed at all during and after the flight. They needed a secure intermediate stopover for maintenance and regrouping, but the airport around Afghanistan was already overcrowded with panicking civilians. On top of the chaos, outside the airport were the Taliban. In Kabul, there was a tip that the Taliban and other terrorist groups, including ISIS, were planning attacks. These groups already have a history of using a portable anti-aircraft missiles SA-7 in combat. When fired, the missile tracks the heat from the aircraft engine even at low altitude and low speed, meaning that the team was at a constant threat even during the landing. And just like normal planes, military aircraft are also most vulnerable when taking off and landing. Fortunately, the team was able to mislead the heat-tracking missiles using helicopter flares. But the troubles did not end there. Although the US military was in control of Kabul airport, Pentagon officials notified them that all of the airport's control personnel have fled the facility, so the team could not receive and help during takeoff and landing. Thus, they had to land their plane depending only on their sight. But this was the CCT. They had regularly received training so that they could fly and land their aircraft on any unknown terrain. With such skills, they were able to overcome the poor circumstances and miraculously evacuate the civilians. Currently, South Korean Air Force is making efforts to increase the proportion of operations and participation level of the CCT, as well as increasing investments in upgrading their military gears.